Hey guys, Solar here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Legends and Mr. Hyde, Hyde. I love doing that. Build-A-Figure Wave, Tony Stark AI. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, as I said before, today we're taking a look at the Tony Stark AI figure from the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure Wave, or the Shang-Chi movie wave for those of you who want to refer to it as that, but I'm going to refer to it as the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure Wave because I am amazed we are actually getting a Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure. And also kind of sucks because now I gotta dig up the old King Cobra figure I was previously gonna get rid of. Kind of funny how lately Hasbro has been making me dig up old figures I was previously gonna get rid of with new releases. Ursa Major. So this guy comes with the right leg to Mr. Hyde, which appears to be mostly reuse from the Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure from the Avengers Gamerverse Wave 2. But yeah, it looks pretty good so far. I mean, it is just a leg, but you know the drill. But here we have the Tony Stark AI, which looks a lot like a super retro classic Iron Man, with the exception of the arc reactor and the little nubbins on his chest. Apparently there is also some of that blue peeking through his eyes and maybe even mouth, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the super retro classic Iron Man I've been wanting. I do really love the Alex Ross 80th anniversary edition of this figure, which we will be pulling out for comparison a little bit later, but this is the super retro classic Iron Man we've all been waiting for. And don't get it twisted, I'm sure we will get a re-release of this guy with not only this head, but the Beelzebub looking mask with the horns and the kind of segmented mouth that's broken up into, 3 parts? Looks more like a skull mouth, if anything. But taking a look-see at the aesthetics and the articulation, it's standard Marvel Legends fare, so we're going to make this short and sweet. Fingers crossed, that is. His noggin will rotate side to side and look up that far, down that far. Not a ton of tilt, but you can easily pop the noggin off. It is just a ball joint. And he does come with an alternate head, which is actually the head he was packaged with. Technically, this is the alternate head, but this is the head I'm going to display him with, so it is the one we're going to be focusing on for this segment. But you can snap his neck and kill him if you wanted to, but oh wait, he's AI. That ain't going to work. Shoulders go up a little past 90, so that's cool. Back down, they rotate all the way around. Bicep swivel, and this time they did put the arms on correctly. They've been doing that for a while, though. I think it started with the Iron Man 2020, which we'll also be pulling out for comparison later. And then they continued that with Silver Centurion, and now this guy. But bicep swivel. He does have a double-jointed elbow. Yeah, it's a little hindered because of the cuff, but that's understandable. But he can still punch himself in his own face. So that's fun. He does have a hinge and swivel at the wrist, and it does pop out via the standard wrist peg that we're used to seeing in this line. Plugs right back in. Ab crunch clicks that far forward and that far back. He's got a waist swivel. He's got the little discs on his hips, which I kind of wish these were softer material, but I guess it's fine that they're not, because they do keep the hips nice and tight. But you can't kick his legs that far forward, that far back, really not at all. You can kick them out to the side, but be wary of these disc pieces. You do not want to break those off. They're not made to really warp and stretch and all that. It does have a thigh cut. Just look at the yellow on this guy. And it pretty much matches because it's all molded. Same with the red. That's the plus side about this design. It's really simple, so they can't mess it up. It's fantastic. It's got a double joint at the knee, and that boot cuff's going to get in the way. Yeah, he can't kick his own ass so well. It's got a boot cut, which I will say the boot cuts on this figure in particular were really nice and tight out of package, so that's a plus. He does have a hinge in the foot with a rocker, which again is pretty tight, all things considered. Now I will say his legs were packaged incorrectly. You are going to have to spin this around and flip the foot around. I already did that, so it's how it's supposed to be. But you are going to want to do that when you first open him. And he does have the peg holes at the bottom of the feet. He's got a little schmutz here I'm going to have to shave off, but that's not the big deal. So, yeah, Tony Stark AI, a.k.a. closest thing we have to a super retro classic Iron Man. Again, I think they are going to re-release this guy again with a different colored arc reactor, along with the little nubbins on his chest, and that other helmet, along with this helmet most likely, or another Tony Stark head, maybe the AI one, but in solid colors. But speaking of which, let's move on to the accessories. Moving on to the accessories, and Stark comes with an average spread for an Iron Man figure, with one kind of interesting accessory, which is really not an accessory. It was what he was packaged with, but again, I didn't do that for the aesthetics and articulation for this video, so deal with it. He does come with the standard blast effect pieces, which you can take and plug into the feet via the little peg holes, if you can find them, that is. There you go. So you can do that if you want, or you can plug them into the hands. Give him, of course, little repulsor blasts there. So that is cool. He comes with 2 of those, of course, and I knocked over the Mr. Hyde leg. And he also comes with this artificial intelligence, for those of you who don't know what AI means, Tony Stark head. And it's translucent blue with a little bit of paint here and there. And what you can do with this, of course, you can pop the Iron Man helmet off. You can put this head on. Ooh, it's a little stiff. Hold on. Wow, this one's actually a little harder to get on. There we go. And there he is, with the AI head. And you get a little bit more tilt out of this. Doesn't sit too high on the neck, but there you go. I believe this has something to do with the Ironheart story, which I have no personal attachment to, so I will be displaying mine with the classic helmet head here. So with that being said, let's take a look at some size comparisons. Taking a look at some size comparisons, here is Stark next to a couple other figures utilizing this very same body mold. We have, of course, the 80th anniversary Alex Ross style version of the classic Iron Man armor, as well as the Walgreens exclusive 2020 armor. Up next, here he is next to a couple other armors that utilize some, not all, but some of the same parts. We have the Walgreens exclusive Silver Centurion and the Deluxe War Machine, which, not gonna lie, that one's still my favorite. And last but certainly not least, got our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and is this the super retro classic Iron Man we've all been waiting for? I don't know about you, but I'm going to say it's close enough. Yeah, I would like to get a version with the correct colored arc reactors and stuff later down the line, but knowing Hasbro, they're going to do what they do best and reissue the crap out of this thing. They're already going to give us a stealth armor Iron Man utilizing, I think, all of these same parts in the Ursa Major Wave, which, not going to lie, pretty excited about that one as well. And I don't get excited about repaints often, but as far as this Iron Man body goes, this is a really nice body. I really like this figure. I liked the 80th anniversary Alex Ross style version, but it's just a little bit off for me. That you had to do the bicep swap. This guy, you don't have to do any of that. And it is, again, I think the super retro classic Iron Man that works for me anyways. It might not work for some of you, but it definitely works for me. And I was actually able to waltz right into my local Target and pick this guy off the shelf. That's right. They actually had something on the pegs. My gosh, it's a conspiracy. Granted, I did go looking for a few other things, but I walked out with this guy a happy camper. So can't complain, especially since, well, finding stuff on the pegs lately, kind of a pain in the ass. Especially if it's Master of the Universe related. But we're not going to talk about that. All I'm going to say is, if you've been jonesing for a classic Iron Man and missed out on the 80th anniversary version of this figure, definitely pick this one up. Comes with just about the same amount of accessories as that one. And also, if you missed out on the Tony Stark head that came with that LX Ross style figure, you will have a chance to get another Tony Stark head. I don't think it's the exact same thing, but they were releasing that with, I want to say, the Stealth Armor Iron Man in the Ursa Major Wave. Again, going back to that wave, because I'm going to be honest, I think I'm a little bit more excited about that than this wave, even though I am stoked we're getting a Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure. Can't say the rest of the wave is all that in a bag of chips for me, anyways. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one, as well as hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions for live unboxing videos. And in case you missed them, I do post them to my IGTV afterwards so you can watch them in their full train wreck glory. And as always, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure. If this is your super retro classic Iron Man or not. Again, it is for me, but I know the clear blue Tony Stark head and the blue arc reactors might throw some people off. But if they do, I think you're being a little nitpicky. Take what you can get while you can get it, as I always say. Because you never know, they might not get to the super retro classic Iron Man you want. But as far as I'm concerned, they got to the one I want. Really, that's all that matters, because this is my channel. And as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I will catch you guys later.